Okay. So the limbs of the body become beautiful and samadhi soon supervenes by the Khetri Mudra, the tongue touching the opening into the skull. And there various tastes you experienced. Okay. So in the next shloka, so the benefits, the type of the taste are basically, first of all, the salt, then bitter, then astringent, then the butter, ghee, milk, curd, buttermilk, honey, grape juice, and lastly of the nectar. These are actually the taste which you will experience while performing the Khechari Mudra. Okay, the next uh, uh, because actually the nectar actually, it when it release from our Chandra Bindu, from the from our head region, and the Surya is basically in our navel region. So Surya dwells at the root of the navel and Chandra at the root of the palate. So when the nectar release from Chandra Bindu, so it will fall down, and the Surya, by the heat of that sun, it get destroyed. So we basically have to save that nectar also. The man succumbs to death because the Surya swallows up the ambrosia. Ambrosia is basically that the nectar. Okay, so we have to preserve that nectar we by performing the Khechri mudra, and also by one mudra, that is actually the process by which Surya is raised up and Chandra is carried lower down. This is known as the Vipreet Karni Mudra. That is a totally opposite, Vipreet, and which is kept secret in all the yogic texts. Okay, this is basically the which mudra? Vipreet Karni Mudra. Let me see this. There is a picture. All of you know now the Vipreet Karni Mudra is somewhat related to the Sarvanga Asana.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Similar to Sarvangasana.
Yeah, yeah.
It's okay.
So the composing yourself place the head and hands on the ground and raise up the legs, and then uh, remain steady there. Hana, you have to raise your slightly back also, not only the legs, our back is also raised up, and at an angle, not straight back, it raises at an angle, so that posture of body is basically the mudra. This is called the Vipreet Karni. So the regular practice of this mudra is helps in get rid of the old age and even the death. And one who does that is respected in all the worlds as Siddha and does not perish even at Pralaya. Okay, these are the benefits of the Vipreet Karni mudra. So next is basically next mudra now is basically we have to assuming Siddhasana. Then one should close the ears with the thumb, eyes with the index finger, nostrils with the middle finger, and the mouth with the ring and the little finger. Which mudra is this? Can you guess? This is Shadmukhi
Shambhavi.
Mudra. Shadmukhi Mudra. Yes. Okay. So in Shadmukhi Mudra, actually we are closing the six, entry points. Shadmukh, six entry points through which we are receiving the, we are getting the communication. So we have to close those, entry points so that we only focus on inner self. Okay. Let me check if there is any picture. Actually, the sequence in this book is a little bit different from, mm, let me check. Yes. First of all, I will try. Okay. First of all, I will try to share the picture of the Vipreet Karni Mudra with you people. Okay. Uh, it's not able to see. This is the picture of the Vipreet Karni. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah, this is a picture of the Vipreet Karni, and now the next is the mudra which we are. This is the Yoni mudra. Actually, the sequence is different from this book. So let us not focus on the pictures. Please kindly share later on. I will try to uh, complete, the syllabus first of all. Is it okay? Okay. So about the Shadmukhi Mudra. Okay. In the Shadmukhi Mudra, can I share the two screens at a time? Is it possible? Don't know. No, I don't think so.
No, ma'am, I don't know about it. Sumaji, do you know?
Huh?
No, you can't share two screens at a time. Only one screen at a
Okay.
time you can
Okay.
share.
One screen. Okay. Okay. Then I will not waste the time on this thing.
Okay,
So
okay.
in the Shadmukhi Mudra, we have to draw in prana by the Kaki Mudra. Means you have to make a pouch, or you have to make a beak shape of your, lips, and then join it upon a while. You have to inhale. You have to suck air through your mouth, then as deep as towards your lower abdomen. So you have to draw the prana and then join it with the apana. So contemplate the six chakras in their order, the six chakras, and then try to awaken the sleeping goddess, that is a Kundalini, which is actually in the dormant state, in a sleeping stage. Lie down in the Muladhara chakra, and by repeating the mantras Hum and Hans, then place a Shakti with the Jiva in Sahasrara, identifying himself with the Shakti and becoming one with the Lord Shiva. Let him imagine the various enjoyments, pleasure, and supreme bliss. Let him release the union of the Shiva and the Shakti, and with him, mind full of bliss. Let him and also realize that he is Brahman. So, this is basically the Yoni Mudra. Previously, we are closing the 6 entry points, that is the Shadmukhi Mudra, by sitting in a Siddhasana. And this you have to inhale by the Kaki Mudra and then join with the Apana. So this is the Yoni Mudra, should be carefully guarded. It is not easily attainable even by the gods. Okay, and once if you are accomplished it, the yogi who has verified entered Samadhi. So this is the Yoni Mudra. Okay, then the next is the Vajroli Mudra. Vajroli Mudra is basically the fixing the palm of the two hands on the ground and raise the legs and head up in the air. The sages say that this Vajroli Mudra is conducive to the awakening of the Kundalini and long life. I will share the picture after completion of this yoga mudras. Okay, then you will get a clarification. Okay, keep the techniques in your mind. Clear? So,
Okay, ma'am.
yeah. So in the Mooladhara sleeps the great goddess Kundalini, absolute energy. She has a form of a serpent in the 3.5 coils, just like a serpent lie down in a coil posture. So Kundalini also lie down in a coil posture, and there are the 3.5 coils. So long as she is asleep in the body, the jiva is only an animal, because our consciousness is basically regarding to only the materialistic world. So one should practice all the numerous yogas so long as supreme knowledge is not attained. So when your kundalini awaken, our consciousness also start awakening and guide us what is basically our purpose in this life. What is the purpose of basically the human life? Okay. So as a door is opened by a key, so awakening the Kundalini by a hot yoga, one should pierce the Sushumna. Okay. In the next shloka, so one should practice Shakti Chalana. This is also a mudra. Which mudra? Shakti Chalana. How to practice? In a closed room, covering the navel region with a piece of cloth. Till you have to cover your body till the navel region and not go out naked. The cover should be 9 inches long and the 3 inches wide, soft, white and white texture, covering the navel with a cloth of this description. One should secure it by a waistband. Okay, this is regarding the Shakti Chalana. In the next shlok, what they are telling, smearing the body with the ashes, you have to, put the ash on your body and assuming the Siddhasana pose. One should inhale with both the nostrils and forcefully join prana with apana. Then by the Ashwani Mudra. Ashwani Mudra is basically the contraction of the anus part. One should slowly contract the anus till the Vayu is forced into the Sushumna and gives an experience. Clear? This is Shakti Chalana. Then by restricting the Vayu, Kundalini feels choked. And what happened? It rises upwards. Okay. So without Shakti Chalana, Yoni Mudra is also not effective. So one should practice Shakti Chalana and then practice Yoni Mudra. Is it okay? Clear? Okay. Move forward. So the sage Gherand then tell to Chandra Kapala, the king, ki does have I described to you the Shakti Chalana? Try to keep it a secret and practice it daily. So next is the another mudra. Then draw the belly backwards so as to make it look like a pond. This is called a great Tadagi Mudra, which is a destroyer of the old age and death. Tadagi Mudra. Okay. We will see in a picture later on. So, after Tadagi Mudra, there is a Manduki Mudra. Manduki Mudra is related to the posture of a frog. In this, the body posture is somewhat like a frog. Then we have to close the mouth, move the root of the tongue, then slowly swallow the nectar like the Khechri Mudra. They call this Manduki Mudra. The person who always practice Manduki gets no wrinkles, no old age, perennial youth, and his hair does not turn gray. Okay. So after the Manduki Mudra, the next mudra is the Shambhavi Mudra. All of you know what is Shambhavi Mudra. This is basically the fixing the gaze between the eyebrows and then meditate on the Atmana. This is Shambhavi Mudra, which is zealously guarded in all the tantras. Very important mudra. But which mudra is very important? Mudraon mein mudra. Can you tell me?
केचरी मुद्रा,
Very good. आसनों में आसन,
सिद्धासना,
yes, good, very good. And which Shatkarma clear all your doshas? It balances all the doshas. Only one Shatkarma is there which balance all your three doshas. Anyone? Keep reading, keep, update yourself. This is the Vasti.
ओके, बस्ती में बस्ती,
Yes, it balances all your three doshas. Okay.
ओके,
Now move forward. The Vedas, the Shastras, and the Puranas are like public women. So previously, public woman means, anybody wants to see, they can go and see through. But like public women, anyone can watch them. है ना? But if we have, we are also being the, female and the woman. Our, in our society, our elders, especially our, husband or our relatives, they keep us, in a home, in a, very secure way, and also keep away from, outsiders, evil eyes. It's not like, they actually protect us actually from, a very, from the common people. So here the meaning is this: the Vedas, Shastras, and Puranas are likely who whoever wants to read them, they just go and have a look or go and read them. But this Shambhavi Mudra is to be closely guarded by a responsible lady. Okay, a responsible lady. No, anyone can't come and just have a look. Okay, it's a very precious thing. It's a very, very important thing. So Shambhavi Mudra is like this. So he who knows a Shambhavi Mudra is himself Adinatha, Narayana, Brahma, the creator, is as important as, three devas. So the Maheshwara said, verily, the person who knows the Shambhavi Mudra is Brahman itself and none else. Look, what is the importance of the Shambhavi Mudra here? So, Shambhavi Mudra has been explained. Listen now to the 5 dharanas. Having mastered them, what is there that one cannot accomplish? Okay? So he can have access to Swargaloka after, get practicing all the dharnas, all, some bandhas, and especially after attaining this perfection in the Shambhavi Mudra. So while remaining is this body and can move as swiftly as the mind, the person can move to the Swargaloka. In this and in no other way does he acquire the ability of moving in the air. By practicing all these mudras, you can acquire the ability of moving in the air. Okay. So in the next shloka, they are telling the place in the heart that has 4-sided earth element, beautiful like the golden arsenic trisulfide. It's a color basically, which has the letter Lam. Which chakra they are telling? Yes, anyone?
आज्ञा चक्र, शांभवी पार्ट,
It's a Mooladhara chakra.
Mooladhara.
Because
ओके,
first of all, the 4-sided square, well, 4-sided means a square, yellow golden arsenic color, earth element, and now the lama. So which part they are telling about the Mooladhara chakra as its bija and presided over by the Brahma and hold prana along with the chitta for 2 hours. 2 hours, and this is called towards or the Panch Ghati, this is called Adhodharana, by which one conquers the earth and bring steadiness. Clear? I think so. They are explaining now the dharanas, but we have already completed the dharanas in the last class. So now this is the Ambasi Dharana. Merge for 2 hours prana along with chitta on that auspicious water element, which is white like a conch, the moon, and the kunda flower, which has a nectar, and the letter Bam is the Bij mantra, which is always presided over by the Vishnu. This is the Ambasi Dharana. So the Adhomudra is like the Brahma. This Sambasi Dharana is by the, the god is basically related to the Vishnu. Okay. Actually, the sequence is a little bit different in both the books. Okay. Last in the Bihar School of Yoga book, Dharanas actually they discussed previously. And in this book, they are discussing later on. Okay. Then this is the Vaishwanari Dharana, which is related to the fire element. Okay, I'm just skipping this because we have already covered it in the last class. Then the related to the Vayu Tattva is the Bhavyai Dharana, which is related to the air. Now this is the Nabodharana, which is related to the okay, this is about the air element. Then the Ashwani Mudra. Okay. What is Ashwani Mudra? We have to contract and relax the anal aperture again and again. Contract, release, contract, release. This is what? This is the Ashwani Mudra. It helps in awakening the Kundalini Shakti. Okay. So the next is the Pashini Mudra. In the Pashini Mudra, you have to throw the 2 legs on the back of the neck, just like a halasana, and then fold the legs and hold them tight as it making a noose. Okay, so this is called the Pashini Mudra that awakens the Shakti, the Kundalini. Clear? Pashini Mudra. Okay, in the halasana, your actually legs become straight, but in the Pashini Mudra, you have to fold the legs and your knees should be near your ears. Then you have to hold your legs with the your hands, and you have to make a loop, a noose type of okay. This is a Pashini Mudra. Then one should slowly take in air through the mouth, form like a beak of a crow. This is Kaki Mudra, which is a destroyer of all the disease. Okay. Then the next is stand in neck deep water, draw in water through the 2 nostrils and throw it out by the mouth. Then drawing in air through the mouth, throw it by the nostrils. One should do this again and again. This is great Matangini Mudra. This is also the destroyer of old age and death. Okay. Next, after the Matangini Mudra, this is a Bhujangi Mudra. In the Bhujangi Mudra, protruding the mouth a little, then one taking air through the throat. This is called Bhujangi Mudra. This is also the destroyer of the old age and death. Okay. Let us see later on after discussion. I will show you the picture. Then they are telling whoever practices Bhujangi Mudra, whoever practices Bhujangini Mudra quickly destroys all his disease of stomach, particularly indigestion. Thus ends the 3rd lesson called Mudra Pragya in the content of Ghatas Yoga in the dialogue between Gheranda and Chandakapala in the Sri Gherand Sahita. So here we completed all the mudras, bandhas, and the dharnas. Okay. So here these are the notes. Okay. Now, before proceeding towards this is actually related to the chapter third in detail. They are explaining. Yeah. Now we will start the chapter 4, which is basically related to the pratyahara. But before starting this chapter, let me show you the picture. Okay. Pictures of all the dharanas. Yeah. This is about the which mudra?
Shanmukhi Mudra.
Shadmukhi mudra. Very good. Next is the Vajroni mudra. This is the Vajroni mudra. Okay. In that, we have to place our hands on the earth and we have to raise our body. We have to straighten the legs and also raise in the air, raise up. Okay. This is the Vajroni mudra. Next is the Shakti Chalani mudra. In the Shakti Chalani mudra, let us see. I think so. We have to, क्या करना था इसमें हमें? We have to, उसमें the ash on our body, we have to cover the, till the navel part now. Okay, there is no picture here, so just go and read in detail. Then next is a Tadagi mudra, is a water pot mudra. Let's see, is there? I don't. Yeah. See the abdomen. It sinks down. It's make a pond like. So this is the Tadagi mudra, somewhat related to Mahamudra. In Mahamudra, one leg is fold actually, sort of. But in here, we have to, contract our abdomen. This is the Tadagi mudra.
Is it similar to Paschimottanasana, ma'am?
So you can say so, but in the Paschimottanasana, we are not holding, in asanas, we are not holding the our breath, and here we have to
Yes.
contract our abdomen. So there's a somewhat difference between, yeah, but in a in a very slight way you can understand it's related to Paschimottanasana.
Oh,
Then the Manduki mudra, it's a frog mudra. It's, see, the posture is somewhat like a frog. Okay, in here we have to twist our tongue, we have to roll it back also. Okay, this is the Manduki mudra. Next is the Shambhavi mudra. All of you know, you have to gaze in between your eyebrows. Yes, see, sort of some like squint you may feel if you observe other person who is performing Shambhavi mudra. You may feel a sort of this type of picture. Okay, so this is Shambhavi mudra. Next is the Ashwani mudra. Ashwani mudra is also related to the horse mudra because actually horse, when he is actually in resting posture, he contract his anus always. That's why the posture is like this. Now the Pashini mudra, the noose mudra. Yeah, see, I told you, it's sort of like halasana, but in the here you have to fold your legs and then you make a loop with your hands. You have to hold it. This is a Pashini mudra. Then the Kaki mudra, all of you know, you have to make your with your lips beak-like structure. The Matangini mudra. Matangini is related to the elephant. I don't think so. It's there's no picture actually of this Matangini. Then the Bhujangini mudra, serpent mudra. I don't think so. Yeah, there is no. Then lastly, there's a conclusion. So we will now start the chapter Pratyahara. Okay. Shall I? I'm starting with that book only. Okay. Any question? Any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So the Pratyahara, which is the fourth chapter of the Gherand Sahita. Here, Maharishi Gherand explained, कि now I shall expound the excellent Pratyahara by knowing which enemies like desire are destroyed. Okay, so wherever the wandering and unsteady mind goes, it is to be withdrawn from there and brought under the control of the self. Because, uh, you know, we have a very fickle mind, and which actually move from one thought of the another, or one topic from another. So we have to control our mind also, and we can control by practicing the pratyahara. So wherever the sight falls, the mind follows. Therefore, bring it under the control of self. So we have to control here our sense organs, because if we are observing something, our mind also get thoughts regarding to that which the picture we are seeing. Or the sounds. Right now you are listening to my voice, but I think so there is some background noise also. So the person who does not focus on my voice, who focus on my background voice, the thoughts related to that particular voice will come in his mind, है ना? So what will those sounds, or whatever the communication medium takes towards takes us towards that topic, है ना? So but we have to withdraw our thoughts or ideas from that particular, but we have to concentrate only on ourselves. So we have to basically control our sense organs, and that is basically the practice of the pratyahara. So mind should be withdrawn from whether it is respectful or insulting, pleasant to hear or terrible, or it should be brought under the control of the self. Okay. The mind should be withdrawn from the sensation caused by the cold or the heat, and it should be brought under the control of the self. Means if you are getting a reward, or if you are getting a defame, you should not should not get attracted, or get involved by those thoughts. You should be neutral in whatever the situation is there, whether a good or a bad, heat or a cold. And now you got a fame or you got a defame. You should not distract yourself by these things, by these situations. So one should withdraw the mind from smells, whether sweet or stinking, and bring it under the control of the self. So the mind should be withdrawn from tastes such as sweet and sour or bitter, and brought under the control of the self. So these are the basically the things which are related to the topics which are related to the sensory organs. We can control ourselves by controlling our sense organs. Thus ends the fourth lesson called the Pratyahara Prayoga in the contents of Ghatas Yoga in the dialogue between Gherand and Chanda in Gherand Sahita. Okay, there's nothing as such in this. Pratyahara means you have to control your sensory organs. Clear? So like in the notes, we will read, in Pratyahara, the mind is to be withdrawn from the various objects and it should be brought under control. So now the mind goes out of the 5 kinds of objects through the 5 sense organs. So Pratyahara is basically the 5-fold and has been described in this chapter. So the withdrawal of the sense organs from sense objects and seeing all things as Atman within oneself. Then the performance of the Nitya Karma mentally without any external means within the self, and holding the Vayu successfully at the 18 vital point, that is a Marma Sthana. Okay, we have actually total 108 Marma Sthanas in our body, but very important are the 18 ones. When Rama killed the Ravana, he actually whenever he throws, arrow, but again Ravana revives back. But the main point is in his navel region. That is a marma point there. When uh, Lord Brahma hit that point, then Ravana get the death. So there are in our body we have a lot of marma points, total 108. One important are 18 words. So you have to, you should have a good control over those points. So let us not discuss about that points, but you have some idea what is a marma points. Okay, so after the fourth chapter, let us move towards the chapter fifth, that is about the pranayama. In Hatyok Pradipika and Gherand Sahita, pranayama is also known as the Kumbhaka. Kumbhaka is basically the meaning, the retention of the breath. But here the other name of pranayama is Kumbhaka. Many times they are asking how many types of Kumbhakas are there in the Gherand Sahita. It means how many types of the pranayama are there in the Gherand Sahita. So here Maharishi Gherand says, now I shall expound the correct rules of the pranayama. By its practice alone a man become godlike. So first of all, one should look to these things. Suitable place, very important thing. So before practicing the pranayama, Maharishi Gherand, he explained that you have to keep these things in your mind before the start practicing. First of all, you have to see the place where you are practicing and the time. Wholesome food in moderation. He also explained the food, what type of food you should include in your diet, so that you will get achievement in the pranayama. And purification of the nadis, and there that becomes of the pranayama. Before starting pranayama, you have to select the place, you have to choose the time, you have to keep look on your diet, and also you have to purify your nadis. After these steps, you should proceed towards the pranayama. So one should not start practice of yoga in a far off place, okay, nor in a forest, nor in a capital city, not in a forest, because maybe there are any wild animals may disrupt your practice. Not in a capital city, lot of pollution, lot of noise which distract your practice. Nor in the midst of a crowd also, है ना? If one does it, he will not succeed. So what type of place and what type of uh, season and the thing. So he in a very far off place, in a far off place, what will happen? There is no security, there is no one to look after you if you need something, if there is some some thieves came, or robbers came, or maybe any wild animal, what will happen? There is no security. In a forest, there is no protection from the wild animals. In the midst of people, there is no distraction, but there is actually fear of distraction. Hence, these three one should avoid. What type of place? In a good welfare state, where one can get alms easily and where there is no nuisance. One should erect a hut. There, actually, they are making, a kutia, a hut, having an enclosed compound. Okay, you should have a, fencing, so that it is a, a particular place for your sadhana. Actually, the book is written at that time. The people used to live in a hut, but nowadays it is not possible. So, according to right now, what the situation, we have to adapt to ourselves also. We have to change according to the situations also. Okay. So, in the compound, there should be a well or a pond, so that you will have a ample supply of drinking water. Okay, if there is no drinking water supply near your place, what will happen? You have to go far in searching of the drinking water, then it will waste your time when you will do practice. Okay, so they describe all these things. So the cottage should be situated near on too high, nor on too low a side. It should be free from insects also. All these things which it actually help in your practice. So in the cottage, so erected and smeared over with cow dung. Okay, at that time there is no wall paints, acrylic paints like this thing. At that time, the walls have a coating of the cow dung. So it is actually makes, with the according to the weather, the it maintain the temperature and sort of antiseptic also. The flies and other things also keep away from these type of things. So in such a secluded place, one should practice pranayama. Okay. Next, one should not begin the practice of yoga in this season. You should avoid. You should not practice. Should not start practicing in which season? Hemanta, that is autumn. Shishira, winters. Grishma, summers. Varsha, rainy. If you start. Okay, you should not begin. You should not start. Already, if you are starting, then it's okay. But you should not start. If practice yoga causes sickness, you got some disease. So what is a good time to start the practice? It is said that one should begin the practice of yoga in Vasanta and Sharada. So spring season and the Sharada is actually before the starting of the winters. The two season, Vasanta and Sharada, are basically the two season when the change of temperature is there. So these two particular seasons are very good to start the practice, and the body also adapt the temperature accordingly. So thereby the yogi attains success, and verily he becomes free from disease. So two seasons, which one? Basant and Sharad. Very important question. You have to keep remembered these two seasons. Okay. So duration of two season is basically the 2 months, but from the point of view of the general effect, duration of each season is 4 months. Okay, for the six-fold classification, because we have Shadrutu, the sixth season. So in the 12 months, 2 months is indicated for the particular season. Okay, so the season basically of our new year, according to the Hindu calendar, starts in the April month from the Chat, mass, which is the Chitra Nakshatra, and the when the moon, full moon, when the moon enters into the Chitra Nakshatra, it is the Chat Mahina. The Hindu calendar is actually related to this thing. So the season begins from the Chat and end in the Fagun. So that is basically the Vasant season. And from the point of view of the general effect, they begin from Magha and end in Fagun. Magha is actually in the January. Usually starts in the January, and the Fagun is usually near to your holy season, when the in India, in especially in the North India, we celebrated Holi in the Fagun month. Okay, from the first point of view, Vasanta covers which one? Chet and Visak. So which season? Then later on, Grishma, Jeshtha, Ashad, Varsha, and the Shravan. Shravan is basically the Savan. Then the Bhadpradra. After the rainy season, it's a season of the Bhadpradra. We say it's a like Savan Bhado. In a some movie also. Have you heard some ki Savan Bhado sort of? Mere naina Savan Bhado, fir bhi mera man pyasa sort of thing. Okay, leave it. So Savan, Bhado, Sharad, Ashad, Kritika. These are the basically the six season of according to the Hindu calendar. These are the Hemanta, Margashira, Posh, the Shishira, Magha, and the Falguni. He explained all the season, but you have to remember only two seasons, Vasant and Sharad. These are two, seasons when you have to start your yoga practice. Okay. So let me now explain the wider effect of the seasons and laid down the influence of the Vasanta, last from Magha to Vaishakha, of the Grishma from, okay, these explaining the, seasons. It's very good if you try to remember all these seasons in which month they are, which season is related to which month. Okay. So Vaishakha, then the Grishma is from the Chat to the Ashad, then the Varsha after the summers, it comes the, the rainy season, which from the Ashad to the Ashwina, then the Sharada from the Bhadpatra to the Margashira, then the Hemant from the Kritika to Magha. It will take time, but if you try to remember, you can kindly try to remember later on. Okay, because in at a time it's very difficult for you to remember, because we are actually, you know do the things according to the English calendar. So if one start practice in Vasant or Sharad, then it is said to be very easily successful. That's why these two seasons are recommended. He who begins a practice of yoga without controlling the diet suffers from many disease and does not make progress in yoga. Now the importance of after the season, the importance of the diet. Okay, let us see. So the yogi should eat food prepared from rice, rice flour or barley and wheat. Green gram is the hara chana, that is black gram is the kala chana, horse gram is basically I think it's a kultha sort of thing, which should be eaten and free from husk. Husk basically the covering. So the yogi should eat. The recommended diet is the patola, is the surana, is the mana. These are the types of the vegetables and the things. Okay, here maybe we are not able to understand if they are written according in the Sanskrit and the Hindi. Maybe in other reference books you will get the English names. So mana, kakola, shushakaha, dhradika is basically the dahi. Kati, Rambha, Dumbari, Kankatakaha, Arambana, Balarambana, Rambandya, Mulaka, Varatiki, and Riddhi. These are actually, let us see, maybe they have some other name. Okay. He may eat the 5 recommended leafy vegetables. Panchashaka. These are the name basically. Okay. Maybe in the Hatiyok Pradipika also you have read na, the recommended diet. Apatya and the Patya Bhojana.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. So now the type of diet which is recommended is basically the Mitahara. Mitahara is a controlled diet, balanced diet, which should be pure, sweet, and lubricated, and also fills only half your stomach, which is palatable and is eaten to please the god in oneself. Okay. Shuddham, Sumadhuram, Snigdha Madhurhar, Vivarjitam, Bhujyate, Sur Sampriyatyaha, Metyahar Mimmam Vitu. It's sort of related to the Hatiyok Pratipika Shlok also. So the meaning is this, the diet which you are, adapting should be pure, sweet, lubricated, and it should be should be half of the stomach should be filled by this type of food, and also palatable, and first of all you have to offer to the god. Okay, so one should fill half the stomach with food, 1/4 with the water, and 1/4 should be left empty for the movement of the air, so that your digestion should be proper. Okay, next. Okay, the type of the food which you have to avoid is the in the beginning of the yogic practice, one should avoid bitter, sour, salt, pungent, scorched food, curd, buttermilk, heavy vegetables, liquor, palm nuts, jackfruits, kultha is a kulthi dal, masoor, pandu, kushmanda, vegetable stems, gourds, berries, kapitaha, kanta bilva, palashka. These type of should be avoid in the starting of the, there are some kadamb, jambira, bimba, lauka, lasun, lotus stalk fibers also, kamaranga, piala, hingu, hing, shalmali, kemuka. We should avoid much traveling also, and company of women, and also basking near fire, like bonfire type of things. You should avoid these type of foods, and also traveling, company of the woman, and bonfire. So these are the things before starting the practice of yoga you should avoid. Okay, we will conclude tomorrow. So, any questions? Any doubt you may ask?